face to face.
It's okay. He's not watching. We're safe.
Yeah, that's true. He does watch on mute. Getting into the game, I do actually really like the 5RATFORCESTAFF draft. I think if this was not TSM versus them, you know, second place major team versus them, I'd say, like, I think they're slated to win with this draft. They got a really late pick puck, which is not something you see on this patch at all. There's not much to deal with the CK, especially if Ember gets killed in the fight. There's like nothing to AoE down the CK illusion. So yeah, Timber has like a decently free game. I mean, Luna farms versus it, but Luna doesn't like destroy a Timber by any means. So I actually really like 5RAT's draft.
It feels good to be this good.
I don't think they're gonna win because they're against a second place major team.
I mean,
I think we'll have a pretty close game, or at least early game.
I mean, that's the cool thing, right? Is that you see the draft coming out, it looks like they have a good understanding of what they want to do. It just comes down to execution, and that is where it's going to be extremely difficult for the side of 5RATFORCESTAFF because of the fact that, you know, these guys are really, really good. Although Moon Meander is going to draw a little bit of attention, and they're going to lead a bit of a chase. It's feeling like this might be a first blood here if Speed can get over there a little bit fast. Cogs coming into place, the Frostbite. Albino Zebra is going to have a great start to the game. The observers are missing, I believe it is Wepas and PTP, from what I understand. We got you guys.
They're invisible. That's an artistic statement. They feel like they're invisible and need more recognition.
Yeah, we need some observer cams too. You know?
Yeah, so we're gonna recognize them by being pretty sure that that's who's observing.
Well, we know it's Wepas. We know Wepas is definitely there. I'm pretty sure it's PTP as well.
Yeah.
But I also was enjoying the instructions from Moon Meander on how to set up your webcam if you were an NA player. If you haven't seen that tweet.
Saberlight definitely followed those instructions during the draft.
It was like he was looking into my soul. I was feeling a little uncomfortable with how just direct it was.
That guy kills me, man. He's so funny. He's honestly so funny.
He is quite the character.
I was cackling when he was doing that.
But let's take a look at these lanes over here. So we've got kind of interesting the way that this is set up, right? You've got the Luna here over on the side of TSM. And then, of course, Dubu's going to be playing the Pugna, does this quite a bit, becomes that little battery later on into the game when he's got the life drain, trying to keep people alive. And also will, you know, the ward is just very, very nice against anyone that's going to be casting a lot of spells.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing where Puck doesn't feel that good playing into the Nether ward damage, but you know, it's not like there's any lockdown. It's just that Nether ward, which, like I said, can be annoying. But yeah, Pugna has seen a pretty swift drop-off after the nerfs. This is one of the few heroes, like, it feels like a lot of the same heroes are pretty popular, but it's like Pugna and Storm that have really taken a tumble. And so it's interesting to see TSM, like, they still think that it's good, even without a hero to really battery into. Usually there's like a Leshrac or a Storm. Maybe their take on it is like, the HP regen is still really good on something like a Luna. Like, maybe it's nerfed on these int heroes, but not so much in terms of battering a carry. Albino Zebra has so much net worth down here from that first blood. Just tons of mangoes to work with.
Does feel pretty good, especially when you're always concerned, you know, if you get those clarities in a Crystal Main, you have to be so careful about the way that you're positioned. You have to make sure that, you know, no one cancels it out. But this is looking pretty good here now for DNM. Still clean up against Moon Meander and put a little more pressure here over onto Saberlight.
I mean, this is tough for Saberlight to not have the Clockwork strong in this lane, because I feel like Visage can be ran down by a CK plus CM. Like, the way you beat Visage in lane, in a side lane, is you just kill the guy. Like, you kill him a bunch of times before he gets his minions out, and he feels a lot more useless. So Moon having a bad game is real tough for Saberlight.
It is just the one death in lane at the very least.
But first blood as well.
That's true.
So
Did have the first blood.
Like, DNM's feeling pretty good down here.
I mean, this is a kill lane with this much disable coming out from like Frostbite, slow, Reality Rift and whatnot. So it looks like Moon this time around is going to survive. Background is looking to mess with his own cogs, I guess, there. But is that like a high five slap at the end?
Maybe like a Chris Rock type slap as well. Could be either.
Ooh, that's close for Giant. Not enough damage.
Yeah. Anyway, Saberlight is rushing drums on this Visage. He started with the Robe of the Magi. Not a super common build you see.
Maybe just to help speed up the rest of his team into some of these fights. We did see this earlier, right? One of the was the Bat Rider. I believe Abed picked up the boots of bearing.
Yeah.
Enable. Oh, speed. Maybe wasn't expecting that. Good rotation coming out from Dubu, making sure that they can go over to the Water Rune, and it nets them a kill. Very worthwhile.
Yeah, that's one of those situations where I can't help but feel like both sides, like in this matchup, the runes are very important, and you could see TSM, they really value that, and they sent both of their supports mid, and probably 5RATFORCESTAFF want to do the exact same thing, right? Like, it's going to end up with no runes being taken for either mid, but you'd rather that than one mid get both of the runes, and then, you know, Gaben forbid in a situation like that, you actually give a kill away as the mid as well. Like, this is why people rotate to go for those 4-minute runes. 6-minute runes even more important than that.
I feel like this is such a thing, though. Like, you've got this Crystal Maiden bottom lane for 5RATFORCESTAFF, and you're securing it for your CK. It's going very, very well. But if this Crystal Maiden starts to wander off a little bit, because she is so slow, too, right? It takes her so long to get over to that rune spot, and then it just makes your CK so vulnerable. I don't think you want to, like, have that sort of
you know,
rotation.
I mean, you got double kill on the clockwork. I feel like CK can be left alone a little bit. It's one of those things where I feel like you almost forget to do it in games because your lanes have so much action in them, or you don't have resources.
Well, this is looking like a dead albino zebra. Yeah, they'll find this.
Yeah, Moon's got 10 1 charges too, so he's okay. He's perfectly fine. I like this build from Saberlight a lot, by the way. I feel like on Visage in general, like, you have this ridiculous attack range. I think it's 650. Let me see, what's the attack range here? Yeah, 600. Okay, so it's still like upper echelon attack range in the game. So you do get a lot of right clicks off in the laning stage. Is where a lot of your damage comes from as an offlaner, especially because you don't have enough gold to send out constant regen.
And speaking of the runes, the rotation for the 6th minute here. 3 heroes coming out for both of the teams. Nice cogs are over onto 2. Speed should be able to survive this. Moon Meander, though, having to be a bit careful. Wolf kill on albino zebra. The Heavenly Jump coming into play here from Giant, and Bry will be able to snap up the regen, having his Remnant down. Slide through.
Yeah, that's the move that I was talking about earlier. Is I think when it's Puck versus Ember, it's just such a classic. Like, you almost want to rotate to the 2-minute rune too. You know, like.
Moon has to be careful here. He's got 10 stick charges over on the Zeus. The Heavenly Jump, Dubu's here. Lightning Bolt will secure the kill. But Dubu hoping he can get maybe 1 or 2 more hits. Drops even the ward to make sure that he has that little bit of vision.
Even with the tower armor and regen, that has to be like a very slight overkill there. Given the regen and armor that he had. That's unfortunate. Speed is
Ryle, yeah, there's not much mana left over here on this Puck. The rotation is too late, though, as Giant. TP's in trying to help, but he needs to be careful that he doesn't just end up feeding himself. Heavenly Jump coming into play again. Now albino zebra, ooh. All right, he's gonna find Dubu, but the tables have turned back around as they'll get themselves double kill now for Brian. He's gotta feel very good about that.
Brian, is that his name?
Ryle.
Oh. What's Bryle's real name?
Ryle.
Oh. Very clever. Oh, wait a minute. My name's Jenkins.
Yes, it is.
Oh, shit.
Andrew.
Hey. My mom calls me that when she's really mad.
That's what we should start doing here whenever you get out of like, Andrew, enough of that.
Yeah, now TSM is just like, they're just working 5RATFORCESTAFF. This mid lane's a huge problem, and you can tell that Speed is a new mid laner. And it's like, I say that as somebody who has insane respect for the guy. I think he's an incredible player. He's an amazing captain. His ideas about the game are absolutely on point. But he just swapped to the mid lane. You're playing against Bryle, a guy that goes against international opponents that are, you know...
What is Bryle's rank right now?
He's usually top 10. I would say probably top 10.
Yeah.
You can't click when you're in game, but I would bet top 10 or at least close to it. He's always very high up there. He hides his account too. He always clears his profile. So you never know who's this top 10 guy? Oh, it's Bryle.
They'll find themselves a kill over in the tree line.
TP comes out too. Dubu. Dubu's like, you know, that's a Timber. Maybe we'll let him have the tower.
Yeah, it's interesting though that you're mentioning that Speed, you know, does captaining and whatnot, but he is the mid laner.
He's got some learning to do for sure, and I don't doubt his ability to learn. But he just joined this team. This is not like, you know, he was on the team halfway through Div 2 or played through Div 2 with them. Like, he's totally new, and he was playing off lane when he was grinding up his rank. So like, he's off lane or switching to mid. Not a super easy transition to make.
But this is super good because I feel like NA, that is something that we consistently hear, is that there's just a lack of captains. So if he can get this experiment, ooh.
Those trees are cut. That is so funny because they're out of vision, right?
Yeah.
So to Nick, he sees the trees as being there, but to us as observers, we don't see the trees as being there because we see from also Tomato's vision, right? So Nick, he gets the vision. He's like, oh my god, what are the chances those ones are cut?
Dreamcoil's gonna get used over on 2, and they've got the cogs. Get the Waning Rift off, but they're gonna need some more help here if they want to take down these two, because again, you can just slide away, and you know, he would like to get this on the Tumbler toy, getting them in that pit. They'll get themselves a courier kill. And it's looking like, the cogs. Yeah. Go and push forward. There's so many people around this area as Bryle was hoping to go and get himself a latch here, but there's going to be the Frostbite coming into place. He takes path to the Chakram. He's going to have to zip past them, and both the side TSM are sitting so very low. It's a double kill now for Speed as Bryle somehow manages to survive. Little Nick feeling like he wants that kill. Go for the lightning bolt. They go and toss out with Tumbler's toy, the double damage. They're gonna try to fight here. Nick, he needs some backup though, and he's not gonna be able to get it in time. So Bryle gets himself a kill along with the double damage.
That was a nice chase by Nick. I actually think that's 100% the right move to go for Bryle there. Like, you want to get these kills to come back into the game. They're worth so much. Nice little Tumbler's toy over. Speed snipes the courier. This was a weird interaction. The puck orb into the cog back on the high ground. And I love that when they get into the pit, Bryle, he doesn't get frostbitten until a little bit after. He just stands completely still in this, waiting for his mana to come back. Lets the Remnant go out. Two-man cog unfortunately gets them both killed, but I think they definitely go down
Speaking
anyway.
of cogs in game, having a fight break out in that mid lane. They lose DNM, and it looks like they're going to chase after Speed. Doesn't have any way to escape right now, but I don't think they have quite enough damage to finish him off before the illusory orb comes back into play.
Dubu, you got to give Bryle a little bit of a suck. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, he's a little bit
He also
low.
gave him some fruit, you know, he gave him the mango.
Yeah.
Still value in mangoes. Uh-oh, Speed? All right.
Yeah, they're poking a bit. You don't want to overcommit and dive those tier 2s. That's a good way to throw the game.
You sound like you've had experience with
Yeah, honestly, as Nick, putting on a lot of pressure. Nick is kind of the only one that's feels strong currently for 5RATFORCESTAFF, where he's like a force to be reckoned with. And TSM has to be very careful about how they deal with him, because he can pop off here. Timber, Verse, Ember, Luna, Visage, like, these heroes don't do much currently to deal with the Timber, and he has this pure damage, which is of course going to go entirely through Ember Spirit's shield. So it's like he actually can be a problem, and he's very difficult to kill.
Yeah, they don't have that. They just got the urn online, I believe. Moon Meander's just finishing that up, but they don't have a spirit vessel just yet, so they will have a way to kind of use the items to deal with them eventually, but it's just not there just yet.
Double smoke. Well, it looks like they're going to miss each other. Oh, no.
Oh, the hook shot, though, from Moon Meander. The follow-up is on its way. They've got the birds, they've got the nukes, they'll give it the suck as well. Dreamcoil does get used, and it looks like DNF going to be able to survive now at the last second. Is going to get removed by Moon Meander. They've already lost Saberlight. Albino Zebra is going to get clicked down here, and now Speed rooted into place. Does have the illusory orb. Nick trying the best that he can to try to put out some of this damage, try to put the pressure. Giant, he's pretty fast, but he's going to be fast enough as he does have that heavenly jump. He's going to try to go hide underneath the tower, but Bryle doesn't seem like he really cares here, although Nick following up might be able to go and get himself the kill. They'll end up taking out Giant. Speed, though, hiding here over on the side. Moon Meander will fall to Nick, but eventually Speed will die to Bryle, as now, look at this. Little Nick, we talked about this. He's really strong right now. Lot of teleports coming back out. Again, Dubu says, yeah, I know you don't have anything to cancel out this TP, so I'm just gonna dip.
Yeah, Nick is like, he's having a good game, a decent game, and like there aren't really great Timber answers in the game, so Yeah, TSM, they're diving a little bit deep, but Nick is like, all right, I'm down to take these like long engagement fights. It just gives him a ton of chakrams and whirling deaths. Like he's using his abilities like 5 different times during a fight. And he can kill Bryle. Like once Bryle has overcommitted and he's got no remnants left, he's an easy kill for a Timbersaw, as we saw there.
It definitely feels like TSM maybe overextending a little bit because their lineup is very much one of those pokes, right? You've got things like the Ember who wants to be dodging in and out. You've got this Clockwork, although Moon Meander does find DNM yet again. Go throughout the cogs, slide forward. Be able to go drop the ward on top, and in comes Lil Nick though. So they'll end up losing DNM, but they lose more than that. As also now Moon Meander falls, Albino Zebra also getting, and look at those chains. They're just gonna hold them into place. They need to finish off speed, and they have the damage. So it looks like TSM takes a great fight after going for that smoke, and they're just gonna heal up again. Are they gonna go into the Roche pit? It feels like that's going to be the play.
Yeah, they got lifesteal. Yeah, it feels like TSM is just ignoring Nick entirely, and depending on how long the fight goes, Nick gets like X amount of kills, you know? It's like in that one, he only got 1 because the fight didn't go on long enough for him to go in and not be 1v5, right? So it's an interesting approach to Timber, and I imagine that's a big reason why they picked Pugna, so that his damage is just like, is a little bit mitigated, so they can ignore him and kill everybody else.
He gets the kill on Roche. Because of the jackal.
I'm pretty sure that means he gets the XP too. Let me check.
That's kind of worth it. Like, yes, they have the Aegis online, but at least they get the gold out of it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he got the XP because he's level 12 and a half, and Bryle is 6'1" and 9 and level 12 and almost level 13. I'm fairly sure you get the XP if you get the killing blow, and the enemies don't.
All right, well, they have an Aegis to work with now on the side of TSM.
Oh, wait,
so
maybe it's actually split, because neutrals are split, right? No matter who gets it. It's split between allies and enemies. Roshan might be different, though. Dota's weird, as we hear the Will Smith slap again. The Filipino Chris Smith. That's a kid I went to high school with.
Top lane, Albino Zebra a bit out of position here. The birds coming into play. I'll remove the Crystal Maiden, and now Nick, they've got a decent amount of damage here. They do go and apply the urn charge, but they gotta catch him first, and he's just so hard to get your hands on. A bit of life drain over to Moon Meander. Nick's gonna just teleport out. And Bryle's
doesn't take the orb. Bryle's totally out of mana. I feel like he's out of mana for this entire game, unless Dubu's nearby.
Wraith Pact is online, though, for Saberlight. Still a very popular item.
This item is so wild on Visage, because you put it down, and it's like, it goes at a kind of, roughly the same speed as like Visage and the birds, which are pretty slow, right? And like, if they go on it, you just kill them with the birds or stun them with the birds. And then also, you have this damage reduction stacking on the birds, so you cannot kill them without killing the Wraith Pact first. But if you're sitting there focusing a Wraith Pact in front of a Visage, he's just gonna kill you with the birds.
Oh boy, poor Albino Zebra. Melted. That's a really good point about the positioning, right? Is that you want to try to get rid of this one item, but you have to cut through so much more in order to get it.
I don't think damage reduction. I don't think the Gravekeepers and the Wraith Pact stack entirely additively, because that would make it so you take literally no damage on the birds. But it is like legit. They take like 1 damage. So I'm not sure how those two stack together, but it's like, it's so close to 100%.
Oh boy, Bryle finding himself giant, and he's gonna chase after him. Sitting a little bit low, but the slide is there, no problem. God, the slap is like the best part of that. I don't know why. It's very satisfying. I wait for it every time.
That's a really good chat line, actually. That's a really good one. It doesn't surprise me Moon has found the good chat wheels.
God, every time that Albino Zebra takes a step outside the base, he is just immediately pounced upon. Yeah, you can see the circles on the map. Just like, I just wanted to try to like ward.
Yeah,
we need to get this back, guys.
Oh man, they see him.
DNM, the hook shot comes in, the cogs in play, and that's gonna be a dead Chaos Knight.
That was like right at the end of the TP too. The Moon was just there. And that was very close to being a TP out.
It's shaping up to be a rough one here for 5RATFORCESTAFF.
Yeah, this is kind of what we expected, but I mean, there are like silver linings for 5RATFORCESTAFF. Nick is having a really solid game. Like his lane and the transition out of the laning phase was perfectly acceptable for what you want to see out of a good Timbersaw. Let's see how close this was. Oh, this is the earlier one.
Yeah, this is the kill on Giant. Lovely jump, and then whoop.
Oh yeah, that's a nice one. Oh, I see. I see what was happening there. I wondered why we were looking at that clip. This makes sense.
Yes. All right. They still have the Aegis on the side of TSM, and it looks like they're ready for the high ground push.
Yeah, and Visage, level 12, or level 13, but has the level 12. Level 2 birds, I should say. Double in damage. These things do way too much damage to towers, and they have with the Luna Aura, too.
Yeah. It's a nice draft. It's a good strategy.
Yeah, that is just
35.
Not okay. Not even remotely.
There you go. There's your next chat wheel line. That's not remotely okay.
It's not.
And again, just Dubu sitting back here, just topping off his heroes. Nice hook shot in. Again, it's Albino Zebra, so there's not going to be a Crystal Maiden available for this fight. Does have buyback. They want to pop it, but doesn't look like it to be the case. TSM rips apart the buildings and makes their way over towards the mid lane. It's the clap every time.
I'm hearing the slap. Yeah.
Aegis does get reclaimed here, though. This could be an opening if they can go and burst down the Luna, but they have to cut through so much in order to get to Tomato.
And look how little damage the birds take from the Zeus lightning. You see this?
Oh my god, he's just gonna burn to death. Yeah.
Like he's nuking them, and it's doing nothing.
All right, they have one tower left over here on the side of 5RATFORCESTAFF. I just don't know how you.
Methodical.
Yeah, how do you force them out of the base?
I don't think you need to force them out of base. I think you just throw birds and a Luna on the tower and you laugh.
No. I'm saying, how does 5RATFORCESTAFF? All right. Anyways, Little Nick is taking so much damage. Right. He is toast. No buyback over on the Timber. Good hook shot going into the back lines. That's going to be able to just push DNM. He can't get away. He's getting body blocked by everything. That is a dead DNM, and they call the GG at 21 minutes. 5RATFORCESTAFF has had enough.